Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the twists and turns of Circuit of the Americas for tonight's running of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Victory Fuel Cup Series Echo Park Automotive 250K, presented by Full Throttle Television. My name's Brody Hanna, and in the booth with me tonight to call all the action here from Circuit of the Americas is Tony Solari. And Tony, we'll be turning left and turning right, and I talked about the twists and turns. There's a new twist, too, because this is the short course here at COTA.
Yeah, they got a new little course to learn, and I've been practicing for the trucks coming up on Wednesday, and I'm going to tell you, I like this little layout. It kind of keeps some of the good bits of this track that I really enjoyed, and it makes it I don't know, they're running about a minute and a half, I should say, to like minute and 45 seconds, something like that. So, I mean, I like a smaller track anyway, and for road coursing, and yeah. Great little track, and still some technical bits, though, to it.
Yeah, we just saw a car go through there right now. That little cut through, a little bit different than the actual guys ran, but I found it to be quite enjoyable. It does kind of shorten the track up. It makes for a shorter lap, and it keeps you busy. And busy is good because it cuts out some of the straightaways, and then it also kind of cuts out that triangle turn down there on the far end. And, so the drivers are going to be busy tonight. More laps, 52 tonight. Stage lap at 14. And so we're going to do a stage caution for that as well. We'll kind of stack them back up and do it again. So there's a lot going on here. The drivers are going to be busy. We're going to be busy following all the action here tonight.
Yeah, we have actually a decent field right now. I'm looking at, 27 cars out on track. And we got a couple of guys out there that are looking pretty fast. And which is a really good change of pace because, a lot of times, too, we'll get like maybe one or two cars that are very dominant, and it kind of makes for not very exciting race. But tonight it looks like we got a few guys up there, and, things are going to be pretty interesting and as I always like to say, pretty spicy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be fun to see how these guys can tackle this track for sure. Like I said, they're going to be busy. Yeah, they're going to be hitting those curbs and everything too. No incident limit tonight, so they're going to be using all the track, just like the real guys, and probably then some. And we'll see who can keep it clean and make it to the finish here after 52 laps. We're going to look at our race information here. Circuit of the Americas, there's the short course, the little cut through. Not much different. The rest of the track's not much different. Just cuts out a couple of the longer bits, shortens the lap up. You see the weather, and these guys are getting 10 minutes of qualifying. We started a little late, but they're gonna go a little longer here. So there's your layout and your race analysis for Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, I don't know if you can even pull up the little graphic that you and I made the other night. I wish they would get rid of some of that technical bit there, and it'd be cool if you could pull it up to visualize it. I know I threw it at you on the spot there, but it's just
don't have that. But he's talking about a cut through between the corner at the end of the long straight and bring it to the corner before the 3-point sweeping right-handers. Just kind of straight shot that, and it would be an interesting track for sure. It would remind me kind of like a flat Lime Rock Park.
Yeah, kind of like, exactly. Or even like, some of that Riverside towards the back end of the track. But yeah, it would be interesting. Maybe one day we might actually get a version of it. It looks like COTA's here to stay as far as, NASCAR's running. They've been coming here now, I almost say 7 years, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, it's been on schedule for a while, and it seems like the fans actually do like it. And, we saw a lot of the guys too yesterday in the real race. I mean, they were using a lot of the extents of the track. I mean, I don't see our guys we've got the little turtle, so we're not going to be able to get that, and we actually have a slowdown penalty. So if you see a guy that gets way too far off the line, he will get a slowdown, and he'll have to kind of back his track up and get the time back.
Yeah, once we finish up here, though, we're going to be heading out west to Phoenix, as you see on the schedule here, upcoming races. Phoenix and then Vegas and then back over the Homestead. We're going to go cross country here. So we left Atlanta. We went halfway here at COTA, here in Austin, Texas, and then we're going to go over to Phoenix and then Vegas and head back east. So interesting mix of tracks coming up too, because we have a short track. You got the road course tonight. You had a super speedway last week, and then you go into a mile and a half at Las Vegas, and then and back to Homestead. So yeah, it's interesting schedule for sure.
Yeah, having a road course this early in the season has always been kind of wild too. Usually Sonoma doesn't come, which was the previous, only 2 road courses. That would come almost mid-season, and to have one, third race now, it's pretty wild. So, but hey, it's I don't know, kind of a welcome change. It'd be nice if the cars seem like they handle a little better than what they should. But hey, we got a lot of guys out here. They're going to be shooting for that win tonight.
Looking at the points right now, Robert Fitzpatrick leading the way in the points. TJ Bartell second. Both those guys looking to have a good run tonight. You got Richie Coy there in third, and Ryan Lark there in fourth. And then Brandon Fetterplace, after a tough break last week at Atlanta, getting involved in that wreck, he falls from the points lead down to fifth in points. But it's a long season. It's 13 races. We're 2 races in, and we'll see how this shakes out here tonight for these guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be a point race tonight too, and especially too. We got a couple of new guys in, and road courses aren't everybody's specialty. And too, like Brandon Fetterplace showing third on the board right now, so he might actually be able to gain some points over some of his competitors just because he's got a little bit of road course experience, and he's got his chops on that, and that's definitely going to help. It definitely will help if you do have that experience to to gain some points, especially in a race like this, where you can control opposed to a plate track.
Yeah, for sure. Qualifying wrapping up here. These guys getting their 2 laps in. Again, 10 minutes or 2 laps here. Used to be this track used to be longer. When it was longer, it would take you longer to do your qualifying laps, and so you used almost all the 10 minutes of getting warmed up on your first lap and then doing your 2 laps. But here with the little shorter track, these guys able to knock their laps out a little quicker. Most of them are completed. We had a few still out on track. William Lark, J.C. Evans here finishing up his laps. And honestly, I've done this before. You use this as a little bit of extra practice time. Once you finish your lap, just keep running. What's the harm?
Well, and I find too, the more you run, and especially the way the tire is in this sim, the more you run, the faster you go, and it's kind of weird. So I'm kind of looking for that a little later on too. Some of the tire strategies, if people even decide they want to take tires. We obviously have the stage. They probably will have to pit in the back half of the race because they're only getting about 37 laps. So I think it's close. We'll have to see how that's all going to play out for these guys.
Yeah, it's going to be close, and I don't know if any of the guys will try to duck in before the stage and try to get some track position. I always find it kind of an interesting strategy. Duck in, get your tires early, get out front, and try to run away. But we know with these Cup cars, too, a lot of the guys are saying you're faster on older tires with low fuel. So I'm sure that's what these guys are going to be aiming for. They want to be on low fuel, and the tires, the longer they go, they seem to get faster. So we'll see how that plays out. A lot of strategy to come here at Circuit of the Americas for the Victory Fuel Cup Series. Again, want to shout out our sponsor, Victory Fuel. Make sure to go to drinkvictory.com. Use code FTSR for 10% off your order. You can get one of their 3 delicious flavors of Victory Fuel. All of them are top notch. You really should try all of them. Love the Throttle Punch. The grape is awesome too. Lucky Lemon, if you like lemonade, it's the way to go too. So make sure to check them out. drinkvictory.com, code FTSR for 10% off your order.
Yeah, it looks like we got some guys, and they're getting ready to do the gridding.
We are. And we're going to get a short pace lap here, too. So let's jump in our grid. The starting order tonight for the Echo Park Automotive 250K. On the pole tonight, surprise, surprise, newcomer Bailey Gelinas.
Yeah,
got it. On the pole in number 78. To the outside is the 98 of Nick Alford in the Toyota. Starting P3 is Brandon Fetterplace. Starting 4th is Lane Allen in the 14. Starting 5th is the 10 of Colton Gump. Starting 6th is going to be the 99, Calvin Ruff. Starting 7th, TJ Bartell in the number 28 Toyota. Starting 8th is Robert Malikian in the 16. 9th place is going to be Richie Coy in the 19, and Ryan Sharp will round out your top 10 in the 79.
Then starting 11th, we've got Brian Messer, Kyle Milliken starting 12th to his outside. And you have Corey Atkins starting 13th, Brian Dixon starting 14th, Robert Fitzpatrick Jr. starting 15th. Jeff Chandler starting 16th. Daniel Simmons 17th. Alexander Hodge 18th. Alan Duranko 19th. Ben Tracy 20th. William Lark 21st. J.C. Evans 22nd. James Torrey 23rd. Michael Blackner 24. Colby Meese 25. Alan Crowell 26. And Christopher Gum 27th. A lot of guys didn't bother to take that Q lap, but that's all right. Want to start in the back and just kind of ride around.
Probably stay in the back, stay out of trouble. Hope to miss any of the accidents. Pick up positions as you can go. I mean, that's not a bad strategy. If you can avoid the stuff, you can pick up some positions. You definitely usually want to try to start up front, but if you can't start up front, sometimes the rear is better than the middle, Tony.
You know, I've started in the front and the rear. Yeah, it's sometimes it's not too bad back there. I'd prefer starting in the front of these, but you know, it's a little pressure right away. Getting through those first few laps and just trying to find your place, and you know, eventually these guys will single file out and we'll start getting a train going. But the first lap is always a little hairy.
Good looking cars out there, a lot of different looks. Some fancy paint schemes out there. Some good looking cars on the front row there as Bailey Jelinas is going to bring them down. Nick Alfred on his outside. Fetter Place, Allen and Gum, your top 5. Pace car is going to pull off. We'll head to the last corner here. Wait for the green flag to come out as they round the last corner. And they'll head up the hill. And the green flag is out, and we are underway here at Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm on delay. Are they actually going?
No, it was delayed. Now we're green. And they're going to head up the hill.
Yeah, for a second there, I was like, wow, that's the slowest restart I've ever seen. But yeah, coming up the hill and through the S's, that's where we're going to see some fireworks. Hopefully these guys will single file out. I don't think you can go too wide through these S's.
All right, they're going to get single file here, but actually, that's Fetter Place. Actually, my scoring is not catching up here as they head down through the S's. Galenius.
Gelinas. Yeah, I'm trying to. My scoring's all catching up. It's showing Colby Meisen in the lead right now, which is not correct.
Yeah, I'm seeing Christopher Gum, so yeah, it's definitely wrong.
Yeah,
anyway.
Bailey is for sure. Bailey in the 78. He's got the lead right now, and I'm looking at chat. You know, thanks everybody for watching, and keep the chat up. Good to see you all back, especially Doyle, Michelle, and we got Rowdy Goose. So they're in the chat right now. Hey guys.
We got William Lark off the track back there, but he gets it going as they round that triple right-hander. This is a fun one for me, man. We got one going way wide. Was that Lane Allen using every bit of the track?
Well, they got cold tires right now too, so you got to be careful. And again, you know, we just talked about it too. The longer these cars run, the better these tire wear, or the better the tires feel. And you'll see some of these guys actually get quicker. And again, I'd be curious to see if we see anybody actually even making a pit stop, or at least taking tires on their pit stop.
We just saw Nick Alfred about running in the back of Brandon Fetter Place under braking there in the last corner. He took evasive action, was able to avoid that, but that was a close one there as they head around turn 1 here. Way up the hill, turn 1, and back down the hill.
Yeah, and I saw that too. And I don't know if just Nick got maybe a little spooked, or maybe he's just used to driving in that deep. It didn't really hurt him too bad. It didn't seem like, as far as he didn't lock him up or anything from what I saw.
I always love this view. They just kind of snake through the S's right there as they head down into the little cut through there. Little jump, little left, right, and then left again, back onto the backstretch.
Yeah, the S's are some of my favorite part of the track, along with that carousel, the right-hand big sweeper around the, I don't even know what you call that big spire, or the overlook, or the outlook, or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if it's got a name, really, to be honest with you.
It's Texas. I'm sure it's got a name. It just it escapes me at the moment.
Looks like the Claw. We'll call it the Claw.
The Claw, the red claw.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be cool to kind of get up there and actually watch a race, you know, to see it live like that. That would be kind of neat. And, you know, this was always set up as an F1 track at first. So that's why there's not too many elevation changes and whatnot. If you look at it, it does kind of resemble an F1 track. And that's because, well, it is. But they run a lot of other sports cars, and now NASCAR's been out here for a while. I
Yeah,
can't.
it's got a couple
Yeah,
of those weird corners, those triangle corners I call them. They kind of cut off, um,
yeah. I've
and
never been a fan of them, but yeah,
it's
there's
hard to
there's a
find the
lot of them.
apex. It's really hard to find the apex on those corners.
Well, if you're in VR, it's not that bad, and I just found that out because I went out here on the single monitor trying to run a couple laps, just to see what the car felt like, and yeah, I can't do it without the VR. So some of these guys that are just running on monitors, maybe even single monitors, you got to know where you're turning because
Hey, I think my scoring finally fixed. It's updated now. So Jelinus is still showing the way, and he's starting to pull away in the 78 from Brandon Fetterplace, who holds down P2, but he's under fire from Nick Alford. And Nick was really quick in practice, too. I look for him to make quick work of Fetterplace here once he gets a run on him.
yeah, and yeah, Nick was running pretty good, and he might be the only guy that has really something for Bailey right now, and yeah, he's got one guy in the way, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he attacks him and maybe tries to get by him. There's not too many great passing zones around here. I kind of feel like the final corners are probably some of the best opportunities, but I don't really think there's a good one. Maybe at the end of the S's, you might be able to get a run on somebody.
We're going to go back and look at Corey Atkins. Apparently had some issues here. Our best one tire and auto care instant replay. Let's see what happens to Corey up here. It looks like he's heading into turn one. Under fire from behind. Looks like it was a... Nope. There he reappeared. He disappeared, reappeared, and had contact. But looks like it's... Yeah, looks like he pulled off after that. I don't know. Had some connection issues there.
Yeah, I think I've seen him flash in previous races too. So yeah, hopefully when we're going to be getting a update soon, and they're going to address some of these guys that might have connection issues. I don't know how that's going to affect the league, or even if it's a setting we can turn on or not. But I guess we'll find that out later on.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see about that. Brandon Fetterplace back in the black colors this week. We've seen him in bright green. We've seen him in white. He's in all black tonight. Maybe wearing the black hat a little bit, but he's doing a good job out in second place so far.
Yeah, he's been keeping Nick at bay right now, but the inevitable is probably coming at some point. But yeah, he's showing some decent speed right now. Unfortunately, Bailey is just walking away. He's almost got a 2-second run on Brandon right now. So, but yeah, everybody's got some work to do here.
He sprinted out, but he didn't go too far. He's still only 2 seconds ahead. Right on board with Nick Alford as he tries to chase down the 34 Brandon Fetterplace. And this corner right here, man, this corner feels like it goes on forever when you're racing out here. And then finally clear it, and it's so easy to try to gas the car up and get more speed there. You'll just end up getting loose.
Well, and it's, even though it kind of looks like a big arc, it really isn't. You kind of dive it in, then you kind of lay up a little bit, and then you're kind of back on the gas a little bit. At least that's how I always attack it. So yeah, it's a little deceiving too. You think it is kind of like a big carousel where you can kind of hold the speed in that corner. Say like a Road America or even like the carousel at the Nürburgring, but it's not. It's kind of a freaky circle, if I'm going to quote a Thor movie.
He kind of locks up there going into turn one, too. Yeah, it is a unique corner, that's for sure. And these S's are unique as well, man. You snake down through these. It's really easy to get off your rhythm. This is all about rhythm, about hitting your marks and hitting your rhythm through there. And the guy that can do that the best can really make up some time in those corners.
Well, and we have those little yellow turtles, I guess you'd call them. I call them spikes of death. And you definitely don't want to be on one, but that's to keep the iRacing drivers honest. And if you see somebody bounce on one of those, they are going to go launching like a SpaceX rocket. So you gotta stay off of those. And it's kind of tough to do, and it does hurt your rhythm if you do, if it doesn't hit you too hard. But even if you tap it wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we were talking, Jelinus has opened it up to a 4.3 second gap. So in one lap, he's made quick work of some putting some space between him and Brandon Fetterplace right here.
Yeah, he's definitely got some speed tonight. I mean, he ran almost actually a little over a second faster in Q trim alone. So that's some decent speed. And I'm kind of looking towards the back of the field. I'm actually back in 22nd position. We got 4 cars kind of dogfighting back there, and I'm just looking all over the track right now. We got a few guys, kind of close. Nobody really making a move on anybody right now, but everybody's looking pretty clean though. Otherwise, staying within the track limits too, and yeah, I haven't really seen anybody get too out of shape or anything.
Yeah, Daniel Simmons going by TJ Bartel. That's for 8th spots. So move Daniel up to 8th. He's one of our bigger movers, up 9 spots from his starting position. So currently P8. He's making some quick work of some of the guys. We've already completed 5 laps. We are racing to lap 14 for the stage caution. And then we'll go from there to 52. Finish this one up, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if we're going to see anybody maybe kind of dive in before the stage caution. Maybe try to get some track position like we talked about earlier. I don't know. I guess they'd have to really calculate the fuel and see if they got the fuel to do it towards the end of this.
We see Kyle Milken using all those tires and then some, smoking those tires on the entry of that corner. You get the tires hot and get them mad, it'll end up biting you. So you got to really take care of these things. Although we did see the tire wear, honestly, not that big of an issue in this car.
No, tire wear really isn't. But you're right though. When the tires do get hot, it's very hard to keep it straight. You almost need about half a lap of calmness. And I've always found that even this car and the truck. It's real easy to lock the tires up, especially braking. You almost got to brake super early and very light on your pedal just to make sure you can get the car slowed down enough. Because it just seems like I can't never find like a magic brake setting where you don't lock them up. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to do in this car. These cars are so stiff. Oh, you see him hit the turtle right there. Lane Allen on the turtle. And you see how it pops the car up. These cars are so stiff. That's another thing with this car being so stiff is you hit those turtles. That's what you were talking about. You see in the car launching. Well, the car is so stiff that it acts as a really stiff spring and it'll just throw you all over the place.
Yeah, and what's wild is some of the corners you can hit decently. I know the last 2 corners you can kind of straddle that the little yellow striping, although it's not necessarily a spike or a curb or anything, and you can kind of get over that seam real nice, and it's even legal within iRacing standards. But the ones through the S's, they will violently throw your car around. That really messes up your momentum. And the only nice thing is though, you get to turn left and kind of cut the rest of the S's because there's like 3 more S's in the bigger track, and you don't have to mess with that. Maybe more than that. There might be 4 or 5 more afterwards where these guys are now turning off at.
Yep, up to turn 1. There's Bailey Gelinas with the lead. Second place, Brandon Fetter plays, and let's see, it's up to 7.3 seconds. But this battle for second continues to go on. Nick Alford's not letting Brandon Fetter place get away. He's just stalking him at this point. And honestly, on a road course, you kind of want to be in the guy's mirror, and that's exactly where Nick Alford is.
Well, Nick, I wonder because Nick was pretty quick in practice. Is he just kind of saying, hey, you know what? We're going to all get bunched back up after the stage. I'm not going to really push the car too much. Maybe save some tire, and then maybe go on attack when the restart happens, because he will be lining up, side by side, or at least to next to Brandon if it still gets to the stage in these positions. So it might not be a bad strategy. Just kind of save some tire. Not that there is much tire wear, but I'm sure you can do a little saving or whatnot.
Yep, he's just stalking him right now. Looking at Kevin Ruff here in that brightly colored orange and teal Ford number 99.
Yeah, and I've been watching a lot of the guys just kind of scrolling through all the names here and just going up and down the field, and everybody's keeping a decent spacing with each other. Too, it's really nobody seems to be. It's almost like a parade in a way, but it could be just a lot of guys just kind of getting seated in and waiting for that stage because stage kind of puts them all back together and lets them get to go at it one more shot.
Yeah, I'm just kind of going through the field, looking at these guys, seeing who's close. You got the kind of a 3-car pack here with Kyle Milliken, Kobe Meese, and Ben Tracy, all kind of close together in close proximity. They've been kind of close the last couple laps. Looks like they're just kind of matching lap times at this point.
Yeah, some cars there's quite a bit of gap between them, and then some cars they got a good half a second between them. So a lot of different skills out here. Again, the road course racing really isn't everybody's cup of tea, and I know some of the guys probably don't even enjoy coming here, but they're here anyway for the points, and it's always good to see somebody at least make the attempt, get out here, whether you like it or not. And we had what, 27 car field, 25 car field, no, 27 car field. I mean, it's pretty impressive though for a road course.
Kobe went a little wide right there, gathered it up, no harm, no foul. He's actually going to pull over and I think let Ben Tracy go, and he does. So Ben Tracy's going to take over that spot. That's going to be 13th spot for Ben Tracy.
Yeah, Ben's looking pretty good. Yeah, he's coming after Kyle right now. Ben looks like he's got a pretty car from back there. So I mean, he is definitely
a pretty car, or pretty good.
Well, pretty good car. Like he's got a little bit of speed in it.
He does. He's up 7 spots from his starting spot. And you're right, because as soon as he got back Colby, he's right on the back bumper of Cal, so he's going to try to make something happen here.
Yeah, we might see him pass Kyle here in the next lap or so.
Ryan Sharp locked up in front of those guys. Ryan, another new name to the field. There, he locks up again in the last corner.
It's so bad. You lock up that one corner, and it's like, it's the tire's already hot, and you just can't help it. You lock up every other corner.
And he locks up again going up to turn 1. And he's coming back to this battle we've been watching with Ben Tracy and Kyle Milliken. Ryan Sharp's about to drop back into this zone and get involved here as well.
Yeah, that lack tire, you can tell, is really hurting him because Kyle and Ben are both. Yeah.
He missed the S completely there. He's going to just kind of cut through and keep going.
Definitely probably got a slowdown from it, but maybe another slowdown there too. But yeah, you could tell that tire is it is overheated.
There he goes. He pulls over to take it.
He's going to lose 3 spots there, but that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was a lot of lockup all of a sudden with these. And honestly, these guys are going to have to deal with the changing car a little bit here too. You get these tires hot, get them sliding around, get them mad. You're going to have to live with the consequences here for a little while. With that being said, we do have a stage caution coming up on lap 14, and we're only 3 laps away from that. Yeah,
the race is going to go by a lot quicker just because of the shorter lap time and the shorter track itself too. And I don't know. I'm digging the new layout. I like the little chicane too, kind of getting back onto the main track. You almost got to take it straight, but it's kind of, it adds a little bit to it.
There goes Ben. There goes Ben trying to get on the inside of Kyle Milliken. Kyle's going to fight back. They're going to do too wide here, but Ben's going to take it. And that's going to open the door for Kobe Meese to come through. Kobe's got a good run off the corner, but Kyle's going to hang. Oh, they almost touched there. Meanwhile, Ben locks up. Kyle locks up. Everybody locks up.
Looks like Kobe's still fighting Kyle there. Kyle might have the inside line here. He's going to clear him. Get good for the S's. But yeah, look at Ben. Ben just kind of, I mean, Kyle and Colby kind of had a little fight there, but Ben just took off. And then Ryan Sharp kind of behind them. He's probably getting those tires cooled back down again, and he's going to try to get those 3 spots back.
Yeah, these guys now we're coming to the stage here. Ben Tracy 1 spot out of the points for the stage. So he's going to have to do something to try to get up there in the 10th and grab a point if he wants it. Here comes Colby again, attacking Kyle right there in that corner, under braking.
Well, and while all this is happening, Bailey Gelinas, he's got a 10-second, almost 11-second lead. Second and third, they're still kind of in the same spot, riding each other's bumper and moving along. Lane Allen in 4th, though. He's got about a 6-second gap just from third to fourth.
Brian Messer off the track right in front of the leaders there. He's was against the wall, gets it back going. No cause. I mean, well, of course, no caution here. No caution.
Yeah.
So there's Jelinus in the S's. Actually, in the cut through here's second place in the S's. That is a 12.5 second lead. And I think Nick's faster. Nick's faster than Brandon. He just cannot find a place to pass him.
Yeah, Alan Crawwell kind of almost spun right there in front of the leader. About a lap ago on lap 11. Or Alan's lap 11. Kind of messed up Brian Messer. And there was Christopher Gum behind him too.
The other Gum. Colton Gum, still got some flavor in him. He's currently running in fourth in the number 10.
Is he fourth or fifth? I'm showing him fifth on the board.
I'm showing him fourth. I don't know. He's behind Nick Alford and Lane's behind him, so he's P4.
Okay. He didn't. He must have just passed Lane then.
Or if these guys are struggling with handling at this point or something. You definitely see some guys slide around a little bit more than the others. Like Kyle Milliken, oh, he's around. We'll have to go back and see if there was contact because Colby Meese was stopped right there with him too.
I just heard radio communication. My bad on Colby Meese. So yeah, he probably looks like he got into Kyle a little bit.
Best one tire and auto carrying. So let's back it up a little bit before then. Charges into the corner there. Tries to do that cut in. Man, that looked like kind of what happened to Chase Elliott in turn one.
Yeah. And Ryan Sharp was able to kind of sneak right by him. He probably got a 1X for that for sure. But he's like, all right, well, I got two of those 3 spots I lost back.
Ooh, Brian Dixon and Colby Meese wrecking again. We'll see what this is. Instant replay here going into turn one. Oh, tell me Colby got him another one here. Going into turn one here. Brian Dixon. Colby Meese looks to the inside. Oh, he just parked it on the middle of the corner there.
He tried to dive in and he took that inside line, which is a line that we see a lot of guys do from time to time, but sometimes that outside guy doesn't really notice you.
Oh, I'm sure he noticed him now.
Yeah.
Probably got his attention.
Not too much of a foul there, but yeah, he probably didn't enjoy that. And Bailey's just going through the field too, and he's actually starting to put some few guys lap down as well.
Yeah, he's going to come by and this time by. You get the stage caution, so we're waiting for that. Last cut through here. Solid start for Bailey. This is exactly what he wanted to do. Kind of jump out front, get away from everybody. And have a solid start here.
Yeah, and that he is definitely doing. I mean, almost 15-second lead right now. So, yeah, he's got that car. And I've been watching it here from lap to lap, just checking it out. And very clean, staying in between the lines, running a really good line. So, yeah, hopefully somebody's got something for him after the stage.
I definitely think Nick is faster than Brandon, but I don't know if he's this fast. We'll see. As he comes around the long right-hander, 2 more corners to go here. He's going to claim the stage win here at Circuit of the Americas with ease.
Well, Brandon played, that whole run on defense for the most part. And I don't think really Nick was really on attack too much. But I think after the stage, Nick is going to have to, if he feels like he's got some more speed than Brandon, and it almost kind of looks like he does, he's going to have to get out there and make that attack quick and get in front of him.
And there's the stage caution. So we'll get him racked up. And we'll maybe get some pit stops. I don't think we had anybody pit under caution.
No, I did not see anybody going for a pit
before the stage, right?
Yeah, everybody seemed like so everybody should be coming in now, at least for gas. Like I say, I'm really concerned or curious to see who's actually going to be taking tires.
Yeah, I mean there may be no tires taken. A lot of the guys say they're faster on the older tires anyway. So
I know the car doesn't feel faster either, too. In past Cup races, but it supposedly is the winning strategy, and I don't know. It didn't seem like I say, it's never seemed to kind of work for me, but you got to do what you got to do to kind of stay out in front.
So just to recap for the stage finishers, Bailey, Jelinus, yeah, is of course your stage winner. But you got Brandon Fetter place finishing second, Nick Alford third, Colton Gum fourth, Lane Allen comes home in fifth, Calvin Ruff in sixth, Daniel Simmons up to seventh, Richie Coy in eighth, Jeff Chandler ninth, and TJ Bartel rounding out your top 10 for stage points.
That's pretty good. Some of the usual suspects from what I wrote, what I would assume. The one guy out there that probably not having the night he wants, and we talked to him a little bit earlier, Michael Blackner. He forgot tonight was Auto Club, and he's kind of a road course GT3 guy, and hopefully he might be able to. Hopefully he's had enough laps in where he can start going on attack here.
Did you say Auto Club?
Did I say Auto Club? Yeah,
I think
maybe.
you did.
Probably.
He thought it was Auto Club.
Right. I think maybe he thought it was Auto Club. So anyway, but yeah, hopefully he'll be able to go on attack here. Maybe he's got enough laps under his belt now where he can kind of settle in and maybe get some more spots. Because right now he was the next car to go a lap down after James Story there. Now James Story should be getting his lap back. So we'll see. But again, they're going to be coming for pits a little bit, and just notice which cars are going up for tires and which cars are not.
Yep. So here they come down pit road. All of the lead lap cars are going to hit pit road here, get some fuel at least, maybe some tires. We'll see.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be, like I say, it's pretty interesting. I don't know. If I was out there, I'd probably still would go in for tires just because, you think you're going to need tires. Why not have fresh tires? And then, you still got what? I'm trying to do the math in the head right now. We got 52, 16 laps in. That's a lot of math for me to figure out. 35 laps, so they should be able to make it on fuel too.
Definitely seeing some take tires and definitely seeing some not take tires. Brandon Fetter plays first car out of the pits. He beats Nick Alford. Bailey's going to drop to third. Richie Coy in fourth.
Yeah, Richie probably did not take tires. Bailey actually did. I did see his car go up, and obviously Brandon and Nick Alford are first and second right now. They did not take tires.
I think Colton did take tires. Colton Gum took tires as well in the 10. So, definitely a mixed bag, mixed strategy here up front.
We're going to see how this plays out. Again, I was under the assumption that you really don't need to, and really we'd have to see what kind of your tire wear is. And again, I don't really notice a huge difference when I'm taking tires and not taking tires either. But I don't know. It's very weird. I mean, again, you would think that you would need tires, right? Especially on a road course.
You
figure
would
you're going to be burning them up.
Well, we're going to take this opportunity to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back on the other side, get this back rolling again, and we'll get to the checkered flag right after this.
We are Best One.
The best tires.
The best customer service.
The best automotive service.
The best team.
And the best customers. You see, Best One isn't just our name, it's who we are. Since 1948, Best One has been delivering quality and dependable tires and full-service automotive care to our customers. Best One, selling tires, serving people. We are Best One.
Back here at Circuit of the Americas. We're coming around to get the one to go, I believe, here under caution and get this thing back rolling. So we just had pit stops. We had a mixed bag of strategy between the leaders. We had some take some take no tires, some take 4 tires. I don't know. We may have had some 2 tires. I don't know why you'd do that, but yeah. And
Maybe.
So we'll see how these guys play it out as we do get the one to go here at the line. They're going to start double file. And we'll get back going. Tony, we saw the calm before the storm here for the last 14 laps under, before the stage. I got a feeling things are going to ramp back up right here.
Well, I'm kind of counting on it, to be honest with you. Again, I kind of feel like Nick is going to be on major offense right now. He's going to try and get that lead by turn 1 here. Maybe even if he can get into the S's before Brandon Fetterplace does, he at least will have a good shot at least leading this thing, and allow Bailey to kind of try to get through Brandon. But it's really he's probably in the most nervous spot right now, and I probably wouldn't want to be in that spot. But he's going to have to go on attack and try to get that spot from him, because I know he definitely does not want to be riding around behind him for the next 30-something laps.
Now you want to be in control. You want to control the race, and that's one reason these guys took no tires, is to get out front and get control of the race. Because on the restart, you can kind of control when you go on the restart too. So that in itself can be a pretty good advantage. So we'll see what Fetterplace can do here on the start. Even Nick Alford. Honestly, if I'm Nick, I want to try to get the lead here, because if I can get by Brandon, because I feel like I feel like I said, he's faster than Brandon, and see if I can put some distance on the guys behind him and let Bailey maybe fight with Brandon a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking, and hopefully that's what we'll see. But then then you got Richie Coy back there. No tire taking Richie Coy, starting in 4th. How's he going to be? Is he going to be able to even hang with these guys for a couple of laps?
We'll see what happens here. Hopefully
we got
get
a lot of guys too. Yeah,
get a little excitement here. Let me get up on the edge of my seat and see what happens here on this restart. This could be entertaining.
Well, yeah. Well, then too, I'm looking at like a Ben Tracy, who we saw kind of running through the field. I mean, Colton Gum too. A lot of these guys, they Daniel Simmons. A lot of these guys, Jeff Chandler as well. I mean, I keep thinking about all these names. These guys didn't queue, so they kind of spent these 14 laps to get where they're at now. And I can only see them just getting more positions as we go, because I mean most of them got a pretty decent top 10 run here right now.
Well, the biggest mover so far right now is Colby Meese, up 16 spots in 9th spot. I might have used a little goodwill, or used up a little of his goodwill to get there, but we'll see if that see how that works out as we go out through the race. Here we come now. The pace car is going to pull off. Brandon Fetterplace is going to lead them down through the last corner. We're going to get a green flag restart here, waiting for the green flag. And I think it's going to be on down here. Waiting. Oh, we got somebody following the pace car down pit road. And there's the green flag. Now we're green, and we're back racing here at Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy too. The restart zone and the actual start-finish line are like completely different spots. We almost had 3 wide though going to turn 1. Wow.
Yeah, it did get a little chaotic, little congested.
And unfortunately, Nick did not get the run that he wanted to get. Bailey kind of got right by him, and but Brandon had a good restart, and he's kind of taken off. Let's see how long he can hold this lead, because we know how quick Bailey's been all night. So it's going to be rough. If he can stall him, I mean, dare I say, even spook him, get him sideways. Not saying that I condone it, but you never know. You never know what can happen.
He's right on the back bumper. Bailey's right on the back bumper. Brandon Fetterplace right now. And remember, you get points for leading a lap. So that's another thing. He jumped up front, got a lap led. That's a good point.
Yeah, and after his week last week too. I mean, even the top 3 finish for him is going to be really good compared to some of the competition that don't have this road course experience or the chops for it. It definitely is a different set of skills. And yeah, you see Brandon just getting a little loose there coming out of that carousel, but he's starting to kind of pull a little bit of a gap over Bailey.
Yeah, he was really bummed out about the finish at Atlanta there, and just wanted to have a good solid race and kind of get back some points back. You see Nick Alford in the background almost loop it coming out of the last corner. He recovers though, keeps it going, but he is going to lose a spot to Richie Coy. So put Coy up to P3, Nick Alford back to P4.
Yeah, it's definitely something Nick didn't want. And you got to remember, too, Nick, Richie, and Brandon all have old tires. I believe Lane did get tires, but we know Bailey also. And Bailey's got freshies.
Here they snake down through the S's one more time. You see Bailey really pull up on the back bumper of Brandon Fetterplace. He's really putting the pressure on right now.
Yeah, he can definitely. He definitely has a good brake setup or something, because he can definitely dive into that corner a lot better than
we got one around back there behind him. Who is that? Kyle Milliken? No. Kevin Ruff. Kevin Ruff around. But I think he kept it going here.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back to look at it myself here.
Like he either just gassed it up a little too much or got on the curb there on the exit. Just kind of came around on him.
Yeah, he was coming out of that little chicane at the end of the short shoot, or the shortcut, I guess, and just got a little too wide, got on the grass, and it's not a lot of traction on that grass. Rear end came right around. No incidents though, and it didn't hit anybody. He just lost a spot or two, and he was looking pretty quick tonight, so he'll probably be able to make that up.
Daniel Simmons just goes right by Colton Gum. Richie Coy and Lane Allen side by side down the straightaway.
I'll tell you this one thing, being my first road course race, there's a lot going on all over this track. And I mean, I'm glad it's not the really, really big track, because it's hard to keep the action, keep tuned into the action on this big ass track.
Just kind of scanning through the field here. Everybody kind of sorting things out here. But meanwhile, Bailey is yet to relinquish the back of Brandon Fetterplace's car. Oh, looks inside. Brandon covers it. Not going to happen there.
Yeah, Bailey's being pretty respectful, too. Just kind of playing it easy. Unfortunately, though, Nick, they're kind of allowing Nick, though, to kind of catch back up to him, because Nick is 4 seconds behind the leaders right now, and he's gaining a little bit of spots, even though he did have that little slip up. He does have speed in that car, so he should be able to, at least get to him, especially if Brandon's kind of slowing down Bailey a little bit.
Bailey really makes up a lot of time right there in that last corner, next to the last corner there.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how he pulls up on him. He's definitely got the braking zone set up perfectly, because he can definitely get a good run. I know, talking to him yesterday, he just joined the league yesterday, and we were talking to him. And yes, JP, he did kind of give us a crash course on how to pronounce his last name. Who knows? I think we're getting close, if we're not already there. So
Jelinus.
Jelinus.
It's easy to say unless you're looking at it. Then you're like, I mess it up when I look at his name.
Yeah, he had said something
Speaking
like
of,
July and Linus.
Jelinus just took the lead in turn one. So
yeah, I saw him.
Jelinus back to the point here, back out front, and immediately starting to put some space on Brandon Fetterplace. Now the question is, does Nick Alford have the car to run Fetterplace down? I know he's got a better car, but can he run him down and then have something to fight him with at the end?
Well, he did have a speed in practice, although we did see a little bit of tire spin on him. I don't know how bad that hurt him. He was, 4 seconds? He's a little bit slower now compared to where they were before. So he hasn't been able to pick up the pace yet, but it's still early. Maybe these tires will come in, especially when the fuel goes down. That's the only thing I can think too, is when you do have the older tires with a full tank of fuel, it probably doesn't allow the car to handle as good, and maybe that might be a benefit for actually taking tires. But I don't know. I don't understand how the tire system works here. I'd be curious to know if iRacing knows, but it is what it is.
I'll tell you who I'm impressed with is the 06 right now, Daniel Simmons. He's up to 5th, up 12 spots from his starting position, and he's cut through the field, and he's right on the back bumper of that 19 of Richie Coy.
I just clicked onto him, and yeah, he wanted to see if Richie had any victory fuel in the trunk of that car or something, but yeah, he caught up to him pretty quick. Let's see if he's going to make the move, though, when he's be able to get by him, because it's inevitable. It's definitely coming. But, yeah, he's running a really good race here.
We're right on board here through the S's, just left, right, and down through here. I like this, though. This is kind of cool because it's a little bit of an elevation change, a little bit of a jump, if you will. It kind of livens things up a little bit.
It's slight, but, yeah, there is a little bit there, yeah.
He tried to make the outside pass there.
Well, that's always the fun thing, too. When you see a pass that happens in an area you didn't think you could possibly make a pass. And I know, the last two corners are probably safe areas, too, because it kind of takes you to that straightaway. But that's where, this layout doesn't really give you the long straightaway option. And looks like he's trying to make that pass in the carousel, but got a little loose trying to get by Richie there.
Yeah, all these cars slipping and sliding through that double right-hander.
But even behind him, we've got Lane Allen, Colton Gum, and Jeff Chandler. And, everybody, there's a good 5-car pack right there.
Yeah, definitely.
All being led by Richie right now.
I wonder if Richie's holding some of these guys up a little bit. Looks like Daniel may be a little bit quicker right now. We can't find a way around. And I don't know. We'll see if these other guys are closing in or if things are just status quo. You see the 06 lock it up into the corner.
So easy to do, especially on that turn one. You think the gravity of the elevation of that hill, and that's one of the reasons I do love turn one of this track. You go up this really, really tall hill. I'm not a huge fan of these pointy corners, but turn one, they get it right. I mean, it's a fun corner if you can nail it right.
I guess who's called Brandon Fetterplace? Nick Alford made short work of running him down here, and Alford right on the back bumper of the Fetterplace machine. Well,
now he's just got to figure out how to pass him, and no more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm not going to sit here and you're not going to see my front end in your mirror. I'm going to try and get by you. Yeah, and I wonder if Brandon actually had a little bit of a slip or something, but because even Bailey's got a 4-second lead on second place right now.
It's actually 6.7 now, so it's grown quite a bit.
Now Doyle says the stadium section is that
that's the slow section in my mind anyway. Yeah. It was created, and Doyle's right. It's the same thing with Mexico City. You see the Mexico track. And there's a stadium section. They slow the cars down so the fans get more time to see the cars. so that's kind of the thought process there. And yeah, you make that turn and kind of go through the slow section there, and people are just able to see the cars for a longer period of time.
Right. Now, if I'm not mistaken, too, and you could maybe correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe even Doyle knows, but wasn't the Mexican track? They actually tore down a baseball stadium. That was a baseball stadium, and they put the track through it.
They moved the base. Yeah, they I think it was previously some sort of stadium. I don't know if it's baseball, whatever it was. It was a stadium. Could be soccer for the place it's at. But they moved it down inside of turn one, I believe, and that was the old stadium that they raced through. It's a stadium section. It really is, because it's a stadium.
Well, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, like I said, I don't really even know the layout of the Mexican track or the Mexico track or whatever it is, but yeah, I kind of remember that little tidbit of information about it.
And fun, little fun fact too: the Cup cars and the Xfinity cars are going to be running that stadium section when they go to Mexico City as well. So that should be.
Oh, that's right.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to happen. Is it happening this year?
It is this year. Yep. I don't remember the date, but later this year, yeah.
I wonder when we are going to get it in iRacing, if we are going to get in iRacing, because I haven't heard any chirpings about it.
I believe it's coming. That's all I'll say. I believe it's coming.
Well, that should be interesting.
Hashtag soon.
Hashtag mark your calendars. Yeah.
Watching second and third place here, Brandon Fitter place continue to hold on Alfred. They're just so closely matched. I feel like Nick's quicker in some sections, and then Brandon will kind of space them out a little bit in other sections. But they're just right there rolling together. And I'm sure whoever makes the first mistake is the one that's going to pay, because they're so closely, so evenly matched. Although, I will say Nick ran Brandon down, so if there's any advantage, it's going to have to go to Nick.
I was watching them as we were kind of talking about the Mexico track, and I was just kind of waiting for some fireworks to kind of jump in with, but yeah, exactly what you said. There's definitely a little bit of strength in certain corners from Nick, and then same thing with Brandon, and it seems like Brandon's got a way better run, getting into the carousel, but then Nick really kind of pounces in the last two corners, and even going up the hill and even through the S's, but it's just not enough to capitalize to try to even get side by side or even kind of make that run. Those last two corners, I mean, to me, those are the best passing zones you have, and I think that's where Nick is kind of losing it right now, where he just can't capitalize on that.
If you can get through the next to last corner, that last corner is a really good spot to pass if you get a run on somebody, or even up into turn one. But it's just so hard to hit that it seems like one will hit it right one time, one will hit it right the next lap.
Right. And I mean, once you get to the S's, I mean, Nick is great in the S's, but he's got nowhere to go. So, you'll see him like now, watch him. He just climbs right up to Brandon really quick. And, but again, he's really just got nowhere to go.
Yeah, you're not going to pass through the S's unless somebody
Nope.
really messes up. You're not going to be able to make a pass there, so you might as well run slow if you're out front, without fear of being passed.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to watch too. Yeah, the different strengths of these drivers, though. But they are making it interesting. It'd be nice to see at least one or two passes happen though tonight.
Lap 24:52. We're heading towards halfway here at Circuit of the Americas. And Tony, you've got a race coming up on Wednesday here in the trucks. So I don't know, you picking up on anything? You ready to go for that? To be right here on Full Throttle TV.
Yeah. Well, I do. I like my road course races, and I'm starting to enjoy this track, especially with the changes they made. So, been throwing some practice in, and well, I guess we'll just see how we do. There's going to be some probably ringer, kind of like what we got tonight in the Wednesday race, and it is what it is. It seems like it always is something to that extent, but it should be a fun race regardless. Like I said, I am enjoying the new layout. It's not nearly as drag as it used to be, years prior. But we'll give that Fury number 11, hell, and see what we can do.
Yeah, it'll be right here on Full Throttle TV Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. The SimRacingPoints.com Truck Series. So this Wednesday, they are here at COTA as well. And so you get a double dose of the twists and turns of Circuit of the Americas. So, and then of course on Monday nights, make sure to catch all the racing action of the Victory Fuel Cup Series. Next week we'll be at Phoenix next Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Me and Tony will be in the booth. And for trucks, well, I'll show you who's going to be in the booth for trucks. It's going to be that guy right there in the 19, Richie Coy.
Yeah, Richie's starting to have some fun in the booth, and it's kind of good to see. He's letting me race, and I'm letting him race tonight, and it kind of works out for everybody.
So we got a little competition, Tony. So we'll see who finishes the highest here at COTA between you and him. So right now he's currently running 5th. We'll see how you do on Wednesday. I want everybody watching to keep track. We'll
don't put the pressure on or anything.
We'll check up here or there and kind of see how you're doing. But we'll see who can outperform who here at COTA.
Maybe do I got to put on a Full Throttle TV paint that I've been wanting to make anyway? Maybe I might do that. I'm just kind of going through the field too, and Daniel Simmons did get by Richie Coy
Whoa.
and running fourth. What happened?
Bailey. Jelinas in the pits.
Huh. Interesting.
Let's go back. Was that a scheduled pit stop?
Well, he wasn't in long enough to have had to serve a penalty or anything.
What if he topped off on fuel? I wonder if there's a concern about fuel.
Maybe. Yeah, that's kind of wild. I mean, I'd be surprised if we see anybody else get in here. It didn't look like he lost too many spots. I mean, he's right behind Lane Allen right now, so he should. I mean, my scoring is not set up, but he should be at least in sixth spot right now. Maybe he went in for a little top off. Yeah, very possible.
Topped off for fuel, looks like. Interesting.
I mean, when I was in the car just looking around and trying to see what the fuel it was, I mean, it could have been 36, 37 lap or, on a fuel run. He's running such a quick pace, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe he might be burning up more fuel.
I wonder if he had to stop and if the other guys are not, just because they're not burning the fuel. That could be very interesting.
Yeah, and if you figure, okay, 52 laps, we came in at about 17. So that's going to get you to about that 35, maybe 36 lap. Yeah, it's very possible.
Well, he's got 11.3 second gap to make up in 24 laps.
Probably won't be a big issue, especially too if some of these other guys have got to come in and pit.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if Brandon Fetter plays for Nick Alfred if they have to stop. They may have been pacing themselves all this time. That might have been the smart move.
Possibly, yeah. And I mean, and Bailey, I mean, he went through Lane and Richie pretty quick, so he should be scored fourth right now. But hey, Brandon gets a little bit more points. Not that he's going to get more points, but at least he's got that lead again. So now Nick is probably thinking to himself, man, I want that extra point. And he is all over Brandon right now.
True story. I mean, because it is a point to lead. It's a point to lead the most laps, too, but I've got a feeling that we may have already, well, I don't know if we've locked it up yet or not, but it's close.
Yeah. Maybe, actually, with Brandon leading as many laps as he's already led, I believe, I don't think, even if Brandon led the rest of this, I don't know if he'd have enough.
I don't know the exact numbers, but yeah. I remember fastest lap also is a point.
Yes. And I just keep watching Nick too. He's great in so many sections of this track, and it's just those last two corners he can't get that rhythm going, and he loses so much, especially into turn one too, because Brandon's just got that car dialed in. Last two corners in turn one, and those to me those are some of the most important corners on the track.
Going through the cut through, over the jump, over to Grandma's house, and away we go.
Yeah, I'm watching Bailey too. He's starting to make some moves here on Daniel Simmons. He's getting there. He's almost to his bumper yet, but he is catching him quick.
So we do have a little excitement, a little something to watch here. Of course, several laps to go, plenty of time to get there. Just a matter of hitting your marks.
A little further behind, though, I'm watching the Richie Coy experiment, and he's got three cars that are just gnawing at him right now, and I kind of feel like he is holding some of them guys up, but they got to get by him if they want any better. If they want to get a better spot out of this.
Yeah, they just seem like everybody's having a hard time finding a place to pass here. You're so close together, and you're so slow, and bunched together that it's really hard to find a place to pass, or at least to pass cleanly.
Yeah, there's so many different attributes to this track, I guess you'd say. You know, the S's require a certain skill level. The slow section requires a little bit of skill level. Then there are some higher speed spots in here. So it's like there's so many different, you know, factors to this track where it's, you know, you almost got to be good at the entire thing to really make some time on it. But
we got Colby Meese pitting from P9, so he's on pit road now.
Huh? Yeah, maybe. And I don't remember too if these guys are fixed to a certain gear or how many gears they get. Choices. I know in the trucks we actually have quite a bit of variety of rear end gear, so you can, you know, that is definitely something that can help you in saving fuel, you know, when you're setting up your car. But yeah, I'm not too sure if that's a thing here in the Cup car. But yeah, I'd be curious to see if we see any more people coming in for pit stops. Although some of these guys, they might be out there running slow enough to where they're like, yeah, we don't need to come in.
Should be interesting for sure as Bailey's trying to work around Daniel Simmons, going a long way around.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to get by him, and Daniel's got a pretty quick car for him, so they're going to be harder and harder as you know, Bailey kind of gets to these guys' bumpers.
Again, Daniel, our biggest mover of the race so far, 14 spots to P3 right now. He's going to lose one of those right here, though, to Bailey Jelinas.
Yeah, he made it look pretty easy at that final corner, but you know, even like I said, talking to him last night, he had said that those are the points of attack, and it's true because you can outbrake somebody, kind of get that undercut. Sometimes you wash up a little bit. You know, all these pointy corners are a little challenging in themselves, and it's like they're not full.
Jelinas.
Yep.
I get it right.
Doyle says you can see the brake rotors glowing in turn one. Yep. It almost should be a night track, eh, Doyle?
Ooh.
Be kind of fun.
It would definitely be different at night. There'd be a lot of lights put up there.
Yeah, I don't think they actually do have lights in here, do they? Not at least track lights.
Hey, we'll just race it without lights.
Sure, why not?
Bailey really starting to cut down on these front two here. You see the 6 of James Torrey going a lap down.
Yeah, since he got past Daniel, he's on the move now. He's
About
got some clean air.
Seconds. It's about 7 seconds between the leader and Bailey.
And, you know, I'm just watching Nick Elford, too. He still riding in Brandon's shadow. Although he did get a little closer. I mean, he might have started to figure out something here on these final corners. Although he did get a little loose on that last corner. It's definitely his Achilles heel at the moment.
He's definitely been Brandon's shadow the whole time. He's been right there the whole time.
Yep.
And credit to Brandon for not really making a mistake and opening up an opportunity for Nick to get by. I mean, he's been very, very consistent. Lap after lap, hitting his point, hitting his mark, just not opening the door for Nick, and Nick just has nowhere to go. So that's something to be said about the consistency there.
Yeah, he's been very clean. I haven't seen him really kind of get out of line or get off track or even kind of dip a tire in the grass or anything like that, and not even a brake lock up or anything like that. And it's frustrating too when you're that second place guy and you're just hoping that the guy's going to make a mistake, especially, you know, when you can taste that top spot. It's so close and it's been out in front of you this whole race. But yeah, I mean, kudos to both of them too, because they've been racing pretty clean, and I'm sure Nick's had an opportunity or two where he might have been able to rattle his cage a little bit. And now they're staying out there, staying nice and clean. They know though they might still be racing for second, because Bailey is coming.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got it down to 5.4 seconds, so he's definitely cut into the lead. It's just a matter of time. It's just when he gets there.
And on another note, you know, I'm looking at too. We've got 20 guys out of the 27 that started. Everybody's still on the lead lap. The guy lap down right now, or it's just the last two guys right now. We got Colby Meese and then we got Kevin Ruff right now. So they are the next kind of in the pecking order, but they still got a good 30-second gap before they're going a lap down.
And interesting, again, Colby's pitted. Nobody else is pitted other than Bailey. Bailey G. I'm going to call him Bailey G. So I wonder if these other guys, we see, that's Ben Tracy hitting the pit road. So just trickling in like one at a time. I wonder if some of these guys are going to stretch it.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be, I assume too, we're going to see Bailey, in a post-race interview. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see why he did pit. I mean, was he really that tight on gas, or he just maybe wanted to just play it safe? He knew he had the speed,
So looking back at Richie Coy, Kyle Milliken, TJ Bartell, Jeff Chandler, Colton Gum, all those guys were able, and Lane Allen were all able to get by Richie Coy finally. So Richie's fallen to 10th spot. Makes your job easier on Wednesday.
Yeah, there you go. And, somebody we talked about a little while ago, my teammate and Richie's teammate as well, Michael Blackner.
Right behind him.
Yeah, kind of picked up a lot of spots. Again, he without really much practice, and he did kind of what I assumed he was going to do. Kind of went on attack after that stage lap we had, and he's been picking up spots here. He might see himself in the top 10 soon enough.
See a tire lock up front. I think it was Kyle Milliken locking the left front up. On board with the 22 of Michael Blackner.
Well, I could say too, once you finally get by somebody, there's always that one lap where you kind of gotta, you're not on attack. Yeah, right. You're not on attack anymore. You're kind of on defense, and you just want to make sure that you're driving away from the guy. Into clear kind of a thing, And sometimes you get a little flustered, and things happen. So Kyle had a little smoke show there, and Michael Blackner's just letting the two of them play a little bit. He's like, I want both of them spots.
Richie looking to the inside.
We almost had a 3 wide, but yeah, we had a double smoke show from Richie and Kyle. Richie gets back by Kyle. Michael almost was able to capitalize on both of them, but kind of fell a little short to Kyle. Kind of some of the most interesting stuff on the track right now, until Bailey's got about 3 more seconds before it gets interesting up front.
Oh, you see Michael Blackner lock it up, almost getting in the back of the 42, locks it up to keep from doing so. Kyle locked it up in front of him as well. That's not good for your tires.
We are going to have to rewind a little bit because we do actually have a new lead change, and it's Nick Elford. Nick finally did get by.
Nick did get by. Let's roll that back here.
I'd like to see where he did. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at it here. That was a last turn pass. He finally did get. He was able to get that run off that last corner of lap 34, and looks like Brandon just got a little loose, but Nick had the Nick had the steam to kind of get up the hill quicker than Brandon.
See if we can pull it up in our best one tire and auto care instant replay. Brandon kind of goes wide off the corner, and Nick gets a great run off the corner. Down the straightaway, they go for a drag race, and Nick clears him before they even get to turn 1.
Yeah, that exit going down that straightaway is so crucial to get right.
And he did the key thing there. He did not go too deep into turn 1 and open it up for him again.
Yep. Yeah, and right now he's you can see the speed he had because he kind of pulled away quite a bit from Brandon. And Brandon right now he's got Bailey Jelinas right on him.
Knock. He's back.
Bailey is all over Brandon, and that might give. And Bailey's got to make that last turn hit on Brandon right now. So we got a new second place.
Easy. Yep.
Oh yeah. Now we're going to see what kind of speed really Nick had, because him and Bailey were very close in practice as far as lap times go. Bailey kind of had a little bit of quicker lap times, but let's see what Nick can do.
All right, so we're on board with
He is
Bailey.
all on defense now. He just got to run.
Coming out of turn 1, Down through turn 2 and now through the S's. Hit your mark. Hit your mark. Don't hit the turtles. Slow it down. Get it turned. Get back into gas. Jump. Sounds like a rally lap.
Yeah. You almost need a, what do you call, a co-driver or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And Lane Allen went in for a pit stop too while all this was happening.
All right, so we're starting to see people kind of just trickle in one at a time.
Although Richie Coy, he's been able to kind of keep it ahead of Michael Blackner. Michael was right on his bumper for a while there, and there's about a 3-second gap there. So I almost wonder if Michael even maybe might have went in for a stop or something. I don't know what happened to him there.
Well, he was chasing Kyle, so he's ahead of Kyle now.
Yeah, he didn't pit or anything, but yeah, maybe just that fight with Kyle kind of allowed Richie to kind of get away there.
Well, we've got 15 laps to go here at Circuit of the Americas, the Victory Fuel Cup Series.
Ooh, and I'm watching Michael again. He got really wide in that final short stadium section there. He was able to kind of stay ahead of Kyle, but man, that kind of hurt him a little bit.
You got the leaders closing up front as well. Lots of battles going on here late in the running here at Circuit of the Americas. 52 laps around this circuit is a long time. Well, it seems like a long time.
Yeah, I went back to the leaders now. Bailey he's got a second off of Nick right now, so he has definitely caught him. He is in striking distance, and we're gonna see what Nick can do to play defense. But I don't know if he's gonna have much defense for him. We already know Nick kind of struggles in those last few corners, and we've seen how dominant Bailey was. And I kind of feel like Bailey's just going to kind of set him up and take it over in one of these final final corner laps here.
Also, remember these guys stayed out and did not take tires, or not stayed out, but they took fuel only. So as much as we say tires don't really matter, you've got to imagine that they lose some performance.
You would think they would, and I mean, and I guess the bigger elephant in the room too is, he's taking a look.
Is he going to get it done here? Nope.
No.
Nick gets really off the last corner really good.
Yeah. I mean, the bigger elephant in the room is their gas. What kind of gas do they got left in that tank?
Yeah.
And you almost look at, I kind of see Brandon back there in third, and he's kind of fallen off the pace quite a bit. He's got, 6 seconds to fourth place Daniel Simmons right now, but he's allowing the two leaders, that 4-second gap. Can Brandon kind of just does he got enough to where he's thinking, maybe I'm going to clutch it?
I was going to say, maybe he's saving fuel. Yeah.
Right. Because believe it or not, these cars, even though they are a sequential paddle style or sequential stick style shifter, it does have a clutch. You can actually use your clutch in this car. I don't, but yeah, you could. The truck I will be using clutch and all that, but in these cars with the paddle, the sequential transmission, using a clutch it's just not natural.
We had an issue over here on this side of the corner. It was like 51 had an issue. No, was it Ben Tracy? Let's go back and see what happened to Ben Tracy here coming through the stadium section. Gasses it up, gets on the brake, gets it turned. Back on the gas, and it just loops around on him. He just lights it up, and turns it around, and keeps going.
Yeah, and that is a tough corner, especially just getting back on the power too. You're already going so slow. You're trying to gas it up for that, for that little straightaway to get into the carousel, and very, very hard. Very easy to do though.
Back here with Michael Blackner, Lane Allen, Alexander Hodge, Kyle Milliken in this group. Everybody's kind of all together here.
Yeah, and I'm watching Daniel Simmons. Daniel Simmons is starting to kind of make some gains here on Brandon. I mean, and I kind of feel like Brandon is kind of saving a little fuel here, but hopefully he's not saving too much where he's going to lose a spot out of it.
Ooh, looks like Bailey had a slowdown he had to clear.
Really, that's kind of surprising too, because he's been pretty good as far as keeping it within the limits. I went back a little bit. I'm just trying to figure out where he would have gotten that from.
I don't know, but he pulled over and slowed down for sure. Lost some time to Nick Alford. This is looking a little more interesting now.
Unless he got bit on that the corner entering the shortcut, because that is a little deceiving too, where you're going to get up. You know, I bet you that may be where he got it. He was a little tight there.
So Nick Alford continues to lead. We're coming to the line. It'll be 12 laps to go here at Circuit of the Americas. We're getting down to it, Tony.
Yeah. 11 laps, 10 laps, something like that. It's closing in. Yeah, I'm watching Bailey too. He's looking a little sloppy out there the last lap or two, and allowing Nick to just kind of drive away. And again, we know Nick had some speed, even though he was kind of stuck behind Brandon for so long, but he does got speed in that car. You just got to keep it clean. You know, maybe let Bailey kind of mistake his way into a win. It looks like actually Bailey got another slowdown.
Yeah, yep. Yeah. Cutting the S's too sharp.
And I mean, I don't know. And I get the slowdowns every now and again, and you probably maybe see me get one on Wednesday. And sometimes though, you don't necessarily always have to lay out of the gas that early. They kind of give you a little bit of a spread to slow that car down. And, you know, sometimes I'll just kind of, you know, take a little chip off of it corner by corner instead of just actually like slowing down and letting it go away all the way. But yeah, it's you know, they could be handled in many different ways. I mean, the main thing is though, you definitely want to slow down for it, because you will get DQ'd otherwise. Serve a black flag and whatnot.
These guys are starting to push a little harder. And you step over that line and you pay the price for sure. You got Michael Blackner trying to chase down Kyle Milliken in the 42. And there's a line of cars behind him. Alexander Hodge, Lane Allen behind him. J.C. Evans back there as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, where did Richie Coy gain a spot on? You know, because now that you guys put me on the spot for Wednesday, he's up to 8th now.
Yeah, he has P8.
I was hoping he was going to be 11th, but, you know, he's keeping that car going forward. So, I mean, I can't fault him too much. He's got T.J. Bartell in front of him.
You got lap traffic starting to play a factor here with Nick Alford. He catches the back of Brian Messer. Brian's going to let him get right here.
I mean, I'm looking back. I'm kind of going back to Bailey too. He caught a little lap traffic towards the tail end of the S's. It didn't look like he was receiving a slowdown, but he is starting to get a little sloppy in the grass a little bit. Taking some corners wide. I mean, it's definitely hurting him right now.
It's tough. I mean, it's tough when you had the dominant car, and now you're having to push to try to chase this guy down, something maybe you didn't expect. And Bailey's doing everything he can to try to make up time, and just overstepping here and there. He's clearly he's got a faster car. He's just got to put it together.
Yeah, and he's slowly nipping away at him, but then, you know, he gets a slow down, or you know, maybe there's a lap car in front of him too, which is we're starting to see a little bit of that right now, and yeah, it's hurting him every now and again.
Oh, yeah, Ben Tracy. Ben Tracy goes around in front of the leaders, doing donuts in the donut car.
Yeah, he got a little bit of wall tap, probably not too damaged, but he's probably ready for this race to be over. He's had a little wild ride, dunking too many donuts tonight.
We're under 10 to go. 9.5 laps to go here at Circuit of the Americas. And the shorter track, that's a little bit shorter distance than what you usually think of when you say 10 to go on a road course.
Yeah, but if you think too, though, I mean, Sonoma, Watkins Glen, we run about 110, 115 lap time. So I mean, this is still a little bit longer than those tracks, but shorter nonetheless. And again, I kind of like the shorter track too. You kind of get it. To me, I feel like you can kind of maintain your rhythm of the road course more.
Ooh, Bailey's there.
He's there. Is right.
Oh, Nick opened the door a little bit there. He's going to slam that, get back down to the bottom, get a good run off the corners. And, man, Bailey is eating his back bumper right now.
Can Nick, force Bailey into a mistake or vice versa?
We've seen Bailey make a few mistakes already with off tracks, but Nick gets great off that corner there.
Yeah, he's really figured out that last corner, and he's definitely matching, if not, beating Bailey out of that corner. And turn 1, too. He got a little smoke show there, but he's still getting through there pretty decent. And we know he's good with the S's, so...
Man, he's under pressure now. 9 laps to go. You're not going to pass here.
But this is one of those corners, and we've seen Bailey kind of get there. This is where he gets his slowdown in that final corner. There's no marker, there's no barrier, tire barrier, or anything, so it is a little deceiving. And I know if you go over that line,
he's going to try it here. He's going to try to outbrake him to the inside. Nick Alfred's going to give him the room. Around goes Bailey. Jelinas is going to take the lead.
Work. Now it's Nick's turn. Nick's got to go back to attack mode.
All right, he's trying it. He's there. He's trying to put pressure on him. Looking to the inside.
Well, I'm going to say for the two of them, however, regardless of how they finish, they are putting on a pretty good show for us.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching as a fan at this point.
Almost kind of like the race we saw yesterday. I mean, it turned out to be a pretty good finish towards the end. We had what do we have? 4 drivers towards the end, kind of battling for that lead.
See if Nick can do anything here. Nope, he runs a little wide, and he's gonna open up the gap down the front stretch. So Jelinas is gonna take the lead and try to check out here from Nick Alfred in the 98. So Jelinas in the 78.
And with the amount of laps you got left, you got to stay on attack mode. I mean, unless you're like, okay, fine, I'm going to settle for second, and but he does. He's still got a lot of space between third, Brandon Fetterplace, and unfortunately, Brandon is kind of under attack with Daniel Simmons right now.
If he's falling into the clutches of Daniel Simmons in the 06, again, Daniel just on a tear. He wants that podium, man. I'm sure he does. He wants that 3rd place spot.
But yeah, starting 17th too as well. Not queuing, just driving up through the field. And we've seen him in past road course races. I mean, I've seen him just on track. He's pretty good around here. Yeah. Definitely always a guy that comes prepared for these.
Not missing anything up front. Jelinas is clear almost 2 seconds now of Nick Alfred. Watching Brandon Fetterplace try to fight off the 06 of Daniel Simmons.
Yeah, we'll see what Brandon's got for him. We definitely know he's got a good car. It begs the question, though, too, does Brandon even have enough gas? I mean, do either of them have enough gas? I mean, obviously, Daniel has not really showed any hints that he's saving in any way, shape, or form. Brandon, however, may have been. And, he might just say, all right, I'm not going to have enough gas. I'm going to have to let him go. No point of fighting him.
Well, you got to figure at this point that you've made your bed, I think, at this point. I don't think you come in at this point. I think you're 7 laps to go. You're going to try to stretch it.
Well, too, he had a long time, Brandon, that is, to have made up, if he needed an extra lap. He probably, he did it early enough where he kind of dropped back. He did have a little bit of length between him and Brandon, or with Daniel, rather. So, Yeah, he might be okay with gas now, or he's just got to be able to race it out. Interesting. Looking through the field, though, yeah, Colton Gum running fifth. Jeff Chandler has actually worked his way up to sixth, and
Well,
good
that
job
just
for Jeff.
flip-flopped, actually. Jeff just got around him, so moved Jeff up
Oh,
to
did
the
he?
fifth spot. Yep.
Oh, I didn't. I'm looking at the scoring board. I should actually start looking at the cars. But yeah, good run for Jeff. Reminds me of the day Jeff and I we ran a Cup Series race at Sonoma. I was running second to him, just on his bumper, kind of like what we're seeing tonight with some of these guys, just on his bumper the whole night. I had some issues later on in the race, but yeah, it was still a fun battle with Jeff and I.
We're looking at 7 laps to go here, 6 laps to go when they hit the line. And looking at the battle for third right now, Brandon Federer Place and Daniel Simmons up front. It's all Gelinas out front, over 2 seconds now, almost 3 seconds out front of Nick Alfred in second. And the battle here is for third on back. We got a good battle back here as well. Nice little group of cars.
Well, I'm looking a little further back, I'm kind of go back to Richie right now. He's got TJ Bartel right in front of him, and I'm rooting for TJ. Come on, TJ, because there's nobody behind Richie that's going to probably be able to catch him at this point. I mean, you have Kyle Milliken, but Kyle's got a good, almost, wow, is it that much? Yeah, about 11-second gap between Kyle and Richie right now.
Yep.
So yeah, so let's go TJ. I might need that extra spot for Wednesday.
Daniel Simmons still trying to chase down Brandon Federer Place. And I lost a little gap to him now, last lap.
Yeah, it's definitely the most viable part of the race, although it looks like Daniel got a little loose there that last corner.
Everybody
lost a little bit.
Pushing for everything they've got here. Trying to make up time where you can, but your car's just not letting you.
Well, no, and some of these guys didn't take tires, so you almost wonder too if some of these tires that are just they are starting to fail at some point. I mean, there is tire wear, but how the tire wear affects the cars is just weird, and I guess we'll have to see after the race is over where the fast laps times came, and did it come from some of the guys that did pit or not pit, whatnot. But I kind of feel like Bailey is going to have the quickest time out there, but we might be able to gauge some of the other guys' lap times, where they were getting their fast laps from.
Ooh, we see a lockup from Brandon Federer Place there into the corner. It's going to bring him a little bit closer here. Jeff Chandler still under fire from Colton Gum. And that is the battle for fifth. And now Jeff's going to pull over and give it to him. So Colton Gum up to P5.
Wow. Yeah, too. And I'm looking, 4 and 5 right now. They are almost 30 seconds back.
Yeah.
30 seconds back from third and fourth, second and third. There's just guys scattered all over this track right now. It's crazy. Richie Coy kind of on his own island. He is, I shouldn't say that because he is starting to catch TJ
He's
now.
caught TJ here.
Come on, TJ.
Get Kyle Milliken back here trying to hold off Alexander Hodge, Lane Allen, Kevin Ruff. Boy, they're getting at it back here.
I can only almost guess what Richie's going to be saying when he's watching this broadcast back. And I think it begins with an F and ends with a U.
Oh, you don't think
my
he'll
name
say...
and my name somewhere in there.
He'll say, "Hey, Tony."
Yeah, he might do that too.
Well, these guys are all pushing the cars hard here. 4 laps to go here at Circuit of the Americas. We're getting down to the end of it. Usually everybody pushing hard, locking up tires, sliding wide, slinging their car around. Boy, it's a mad dash back here. We're looking at 9th on back. Kyle Milliken, Alexander Hodge, Lane Allen almost getting help from the back. Now Alexander Hodge is going to look on the inside. Now the outside of Kyle Milliken. Nothing doing there. They're going to be 2 by 2 though as they go through this corner.
Everybody mid-pack of the field. Ooh.
Here goes Lane.
Mid-pack,
Oh my
there's a lot of
goodness.
action.
Oh jeez. They're 3 wide in the last quarter.
That is a gaggle of cars. I'm kind of watching it on the broadcast. I mean, it's a little bit delayed, but as that's all happening, Richie Coy did get by TJ Bartel. So Richie Coy now in 8th.
Sad times.
Yep.
Here comes Lane.
Might
Here
work
comes
a little harder, I guess.
No, that's Michael Blackner up the inside of Kevin Ruff, roughing Kevin Ruff up.
I'll tell you, with these last, few laps here and all these cars, and everybody fighting for a position. Yeah, things are definitely getting spicy. They see that finish line coming, and it's like, man, I might be able to get this guy.
Yeah.
Let me go after him.
Checkered flag's not far away.
I mean, if there is a time to go, now is that time.
This is crazy. This is good racing back here.
This almost kind of reminds me of the lead yesterday. But yeah, looking up and down the field, though, there's really nothing else happening. Daniel's still kind of trying to get Brandon Fetter place, and they're starting to catch a little bit of lap traffic here.
These guys are all over each other, but not touching each other. It's impressive. It's some hard racing back here. But man.
Well, I think you might want to get over to that Daniel Simmons Brandon Fetter place right now, because Daniel's kind of right on his bumper. They got Colby Meese in front of him. I'm sure Colby's probably going to allow them to get by, but they are close.
There they go. This is 3rd and 4th. 1st and 2nd checked out. Bailey has an 5-second lead, at least, on Nick Alford for 2nd. And this is the battle for 3rd. Brandon Fetter Place and Daniel Simmons. Daniel right on his back bumper. They'll come around to 2 to go. 2 laps to go here at Circuit of the Americas.
Daniel's definitely in position. He might be able to pull this off. It's got to be smooth these next couple laps. I know he probably needed a little bit more help from them lap cars, but Brandon's got a clean sailing probably for these next couple laps. So Daniel's just going to have some flawless laps if he wants to get to them. Although Daniel looks like he is struggling a little bit in those S's. He's pretty good. He's pretty good at the tail end of the S's, but the opening part of the S's, coming in out of turn 1, he struggles.
Yeah, he's there now. We're right on board with Daniel Simmons on the back of Brandon Fetter Place. Oh, it's close.
This is the area Brandon's pretty good at too. He's pretty good in these slow sections here. So let's see if he's got anything. I mean, we know too the car handling's got to be really bad for these guys.
A little bump right there.
Yeah, it was a little tap just to let you know, hey, I'm back here. Brandon now has another shadow. He's been having a shadow all night.
Mm-hmm. He's been defending all night. He's going to be wore out after this one, I'm sure. We're coming to 1 to go, though. Bailey Gelinas out front. Impressive margin. Nick Alford 2nd. You're watching the battle for 3rd here. Daniel Simmons did not get the exit he needed off that corner, though. He's got to run him back down and try it one last time here as we go to the final lap here at Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, and I must say, too, I'm pretty impressed with a lot of the leaders here. A lot of times we see, we had a guy another guy a year before. Some of these guys pull 20-second, 30-second leads off the whole field. That's not the case tonight.
Nope.
We've had some really good close racing. Definitely there's dominant cars out there, but nothing like what we've seen in the past. So good job to everybody. and no wrecks, no major incidents where over braking and plowing. And Daniel is in the grass mowing.
Daniel trying everything he can, way wide. The 34 cuts it shallow. Is that going to hurt him? Daniel Simmons tries to get the run, can't do it.
This is Daniel's best part of the track right here. So he's got a, and he gets a little loose.
Sideways. We're going to cut
The
the lead, though.
curves, right?
Here comes Jelinas through the last couple of corners. No problem for him. He even made an extra stop, come back to the lead, and through the last corner, it's going to be the winner. Number 78, Bailey Jelinas, is going to take the win here at Circuit of the Americas.
Dominant drive for him. Good job.
Nick Alford.
Winner on debut.
Comes home second. And Brandon Fetterplace holds off a hard-charging Daniel Simmons to come home P3.
And then you got Jeff Chandler. Unfortunately, Jeff Chandler's like 40 seconds behind these guys right now, but he is he'll eventually make his way to fifth.
Go back here and watch this battle here. This has been crazy the whole time. Lane Allen, you got Michael Blackner in there, Alexander Hodge, Kyle Milliken. Here comes a late die. Nope. This guy's hanging on to it. Hanging it out here for the last lap. Michael Blackner trying to get to Kevin Ruff.
It's crazy how those guys have just, they've been running like this for probably the last 20
Yeah,
laps.
it's crazy. Here's the 53 going a little wide to 42. Kyle Milliken's going to try the outside here. Is he going to switch back under him? Yes, he is.
Coming to last corners here. I'm sure these guys are probably happy this one's over now, too.
I'm sure they're wore out. That's fun.
They probably had some of the most fun out of the track out of everybody.
They got it sorted out, though, and they're going to come home clean, all in one piece. Nice job by everybody, man. That was some crazy racing back there, but they held it together, did it cleanly. And there's a little celebration for Kyle Milliken at the end.
Yep. We had 15 guys finishing that lap or finishing that race on the lead lap. So it was a really good race by these guys.
Here's your winner tonight, Bailey Jelinas. I'm sure he's going to roast us for how we pronounced his name all kind of different ways throughout the race, but you'll get that with being new.
Hopefully you got it right once, right?
First race, first win. Yeah, I got it right once or twice, maybe. So as he comes around and celebrates, we are going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk to our top three, do a recap of the race, and we'll see whatever other trouble we can get into. Right after this, we'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are Best One.
The best tires.
The best customer service.
The best automotive service.
And the best customers. You see, Best One isn't just our name, it's who we are. Since 1948, Best One has been delivering quality and dependable tires and full-service automotive care to our customers. Best One, selling tires, serving people. We are Best One.
back here at Circuit of the Americas, wrapping things up after a thrilling finish throughout the pack, to be honest with you, as Bailey Gelinas does his celebratory burnouts here at the top of turn 1 in the number 78, bringing home the victory here tonight in his first start. Very impressive. Let's see if we can talk to our top 3 finishers and get their thoughts on what I felt was a pretty thrilling finish here at the end of the race. See if we can pull up P3. A hard-fought third place for the 34 Brandon Fetter place. Brandon, you had your hands full with somebody chasing you, it seemed like, all night. At the end, it was Daniel Simmons, but you had teammate Nick Alford hounding you all race as well. So got to walk us through your night. Third place, you got to be pretty satisfied with that, especially given how last week ended.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, first and foremost, I am beat. This this track is very physically demanding, especially if you use both feet to gas and brake. So I'm pretty tired, but yeah, like you said, I mean, it just seemed like, I felt really good about this race coming in. I knew I had a little bit of pace. I knew Nick had a little bit of pace. I wasn't sure who else in the field was going to be fast, but we figured it out pretty quick there in practice. Bailey there was lights out fast. So the only option I thought that I had was to try to get in front of him and see if I could keep him behind me, but he just had too much pace.
Yeah, absolutely. He was clearly at times in a class of his own, but you guys kept him honest. He had to pit there for fuel too, and he had to come back up through the field. Did you guys, was there a concern of fuel for you guys as well, or was it just gas it, get as far out as you can and make him chase you down?
Oh no, we believed that we were short there at the restart. So, it was close. We knew we were close. So we had been, it was fuel strat the entire time. We were just saving fuel until we were good. And evidently he was short and he pit and he still beat us. So evidently, I guess the fuel saving didn't help us that much. But hey, I'm happy with a third.
Yeah, you guys actually did a really good job saving fuel and running the times you were up in the P3. Yeah, there's a pretty big gap from I guess fourth on back. But you guys did a good job up front. You were up front all race, got your lap sled. That's important for points as well. But we head to Phoenix next week. So with the road course in the rearview mirror, now we look at Phoenix Raceway. What do you think you got? What you guys thinking about coming up at Phoenix?
Well, I know my old bones are going to be excited to go back to an oval, but we're pretty excited for Phoenix. We're Nick and I, and actually the entire team, we're pretty quick at Phoenix. So we'll put in the time, and we'll see where that puts us.
Well, we look forward to it for sure. Brandon Fetter place going home P3. Going to be able to skip the gym this week because he raced at the road course at Circuit of the Americas. I'm going to hand you the mic there, let you do your shout outs and sponsor plugs. The mic's yours.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, thanks to the team, High Lap Heroes, for everything that we do all week, all the communication, all the help. Thanks to Premier Setups, obviously, for the real fast setups. And just thanks to y'all for the broadcast. Thanks to the league, and we'll see y'all next week.
All right, there's your third place finisher tonight. Brandon Fetter place brings it home P3. A good solid points night. Just what the doctor ordered, and he'll head to Phoenix. Now we're going to step, I think, Tony, you're standing by with our second place finisher, Nick Alford.
Yeah, I am. Nick, you got a copy. You had a kind of a crazy race tonight. You were the shadow for most of the time for your teammate, and then became the shadow. I got some laps led, and I don't know, fuel saving strategies, I assume too. A lot happening tonight, huh?
Yeah, it was kind of all over the place. Man, I love this track so much. It's so much fun. You're just running on the edge every corner. So, but yeah, I was just kind of chilling behind Brandon for a while, and then once we saw Bailey pit, we're like, all right, well, let's get you some points for leading the lap, and then we'll shuffle me to the front and get some points for leading the lap, trying to maximize our points as much as possible. But yeah, it was a fun race.
Well, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, like I say, I kind of skipped my mind that the two of you guys were even teammates, and we just saw the two of you running together for most of the race, and it looked like you were a little better than him in some corners. He was a little better than you in some corners too, and then uh, I'll tell you, it didn't look like he was kind of letting you go. It kind of looked like you were able to finally capitalize there in that last corner when you were able to get by him.
Yeah, well, we were actually talking about that. I mentioned, I said, hey man, like if we put my S's through turn 17 with your front half of the track, I think we could catch him and beat this guy. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. We are just hanging out as teammates, hoping Brian could have gotten up there, but he just didn't have it tonight, and it's all good.
Well, yeah. So do you like the new version with the shortcut of this place? I mean, you said you like this track. I personally, I'm kind of digging it more. I never was a huge fan of it, but yeah, the shortcut kind of makes it a little bit more fun for me.
The shortcut's not bad. It's just the issue that a lot of people voice with this place is there's not many places to pass, and you can get stuck behind a slower car pretty much anywhere on this track, and it'll hurt you really bad. So, luckily that didn't happen for us. Everybody that we were passing was really respectful and gave us plenty of room. But I prefer the longer version just because it's a little bit more fun. I believe it's more high speed. This is a lot of first gear and second gear running.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I can kind of agree with that. But well, anyway, though, congratulations on your second place, and floor is yours.
Appreciate give a huge shout out for Team Conti.gg for giving me the second fastest setup here today. Frontline Optics, Martin PC, and the Hotlight Hero guys.
All right. Well, there's Nick Elford, second place winner. Brody, you got our winner in victory lane.
Yeah, I'm down here in victory lane with the 78 Bailey Jelinus. Did I get it?
Yes, you did, sir.
All right, winner. All right, hey, listen, you're the big winner tonight. Come home, P1, start on the pole. Wish it was that easy, but we had some a little pit stop there midway through the main part of the race. Kind of talk me through your race and kind of what you saw out there.
I mean, first off, the first part was it was just kind of figure out what type of pace I had, what type of car I had through the long run. Tried a little something different there and felt really good. So I was like, well, we're going to go do that again in the second stage. And I realized when we took the green, I'm like, oh boy, we're going to be about 2 laps short. So it was like, try to go after them, push their pace, maybe get them to run out of fuel or overcook their stuff. Cause I knew I was going to come relatively quick for fuel. I was like, I got to do it quick. Don't want to get caught with like 10 to go trying to make gaps or anything like that or get stuck in traffic. So yeah, just cut the fuel strategy window a little short, I guess, on the pit stop. I don't know how, but we did. Came off and just went for it. Tried to hope it would stick.
Well, when you got a fast hot rod like that, I guess it guzzles a little gas. So that's why you ended up two laps short, I guess. But definitely burning the fuel out there and burning up the field. And talking about racing out there with Brandon Fetterplace, Nick Alford, those guys were out there trying to save gas, and so you had to pit. You knew you had to get back up there. And honestly, I thought you did a great job. Don't get me wrong. I was surprised how long, and I don't know. You tell me if you're surprised how long it took you to actually get to and get by Nick Alford, because I expected you to burn through there pretty quick. The pace you were running.
Well, it was, that part's kind of funny because originally I was catching them and I was watching it. I'm like, okay, just be smart. Keep the rear tires on it. Keep the front tires on it. No need to overdo anything. When I started realizing I was clicking about 2 seconds a lap, and I looked down and I was like, oh boy, I'm 0.8 on fuel. And I was like, maybe I should be a little smarter about that. And next thing you know, I looked down and I'm like, oh, I got 2 laps fuel. What in the hell am I doing? Time to go. And I don't know. I clicked everything through, got past Brandon, and then I got to him. I was like, okay, he's going a little harder. It's fine. I was like, I'll just keep patience. And I made those 2 weird corner cuts that I hadn't made all race. And I was like, huh. And then after that, I just kind of set back into my rhythm. Realized my tires were a little warmer than I wanted, but just got the rhythm back. being smart, try to keep pressure on him, and it was perfect.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. We figured if you ran the pace that you were running earlier, if you just kind of settled in, you'd be there in no time, and certainly you were there. And once you got by, you just checked out. So again, congratulations. But I'm sure Tony's got something to add here.
Yeah, my main question is, well, first of all, let me congratulate you. I mean, winner debut. We just met you yesterday. You seem like a real decent dude, and yeah, hopefully we did pronounce your last name Jelinus right. And just did you find a truck ride for Wednesday? I'm just not asking for me, but kind of asking for me.
At the moment, no, we're just going to be helping on the pit box. So we'll see. I might do it, might not. We got to see what we got.
That sigh you heard was just the whole field.
Yeah. Yeah. You might have heard a woohoo in the background, but no. Anyway, great run tonight. Yeah, we were wondering about gas, but you obviously had enough speed too to kind of still make that stop and kind of get back. It did look like the last couple of laps, so you're starting to get a little sloppy. Just what was happening through those last few laps there? Seeing you mowing the grass on one lap in particular, a couple slowdowns as well.
Yeah, those slowdowns. That corner's just so. If you want to be perfect, you got to just put it to the edge. And I mean, all race, I think I had a couple times. I'm like, oop, there's going to be one. And it just kept letting me go. And I was like, well, yeah, might as well keep after it. And then a few other points, I knew there was a tiny bit more speed if you push the off tracks. And I was like, I'm willing to do it. And I was like, I got to go for it. And I mean, I even got a few in that corner that second to last, right before you come down, and I've been cutting more than anybody. Just if you go a tiny bit over, you get those off tracks. So I was like pushing certain spots, and had a few mistakes. Like I said, the tires got hot. I was trying to make sure I made up the time. I didn't want to give up too much at points, and I don't know. Had a couple points that chattered the rear end pretty bad. Felt it hop, and I was like, we'll just go wide and try to make it back.
Well, I know that corner. Yeah, it's pretty deceiving, but yeah, it was good job overall, though. I mean, yeah, you still got it done in the end.
Well, there's no doubt that you're an ace here at the road courses for sure. We got Phoenix next week, though. Looking ahead to Phoenix and some of the other ovals, what do you expect out of the car when we head down there?
With this next gen, I mean, trucks and Xfinity, I have a lot of experience in, and this car I'm getting the hang of over time. But I love the short tracks. I love Phoenix. Phoenix has always been good to me. I'm very fast there too. I like to settle in, and it works with me because I like the tires. I like to manage tires. So hopefully, I haven't got to run it yet, but hopefully the EPI set that we ran this week is going to be just as good. And I mean, I can't thank them enough over there at EPI. They build hell of a setup for me to run every week.
Well, that's where we're headed. So I wanted to give you a chance to do your shout outs and sponsor plugs. I'm going to hand you the mic. The floor is yours.
Thanks to the guys over at EPI, 1-8 Media, as well as Down South Apparel. Can't thank them enough for what they do for me to get me going every week and have fast race cars. And thanks to my buddy Ryan Chapman and for letting me hang out with his team guys and help them. And hopefully we can keep doing this every week and winning races.
Well, you're 1 for 1. You're off to a good start, so keep it up. Good luck next week.
Hopefully 2 for 2.
Yeah, going for 2 for 2 next week. All right, well, good luck next week, and we'll see you on track there.
Thank you, boys.
All right, there's your winner tonight, Bailey Jelinus. I guess we're going to get used to saying his name, Tony.
Yeah, well, what he even said it yesterday, July and Linus. So, you think of the Peanuts character and that month of July. And it's probably not too bad. It does take a little while. I did pick it up, I will say, better than the Carolina boys, even though, we didn't really mention those guys tonight, but it worked out.
Yeah. For sure. The 78 was fast. I mean, he was bad fast tonight. I'm sure we'll be talking about him next week. Sure. Yeah, looking at the race tonight, Tony, it kind of developed into a very exciting end all the way through the pack. We've seen a lot of good racing towards the end of the race. There were some lulls for sure. A lot of, like you said, a parade, single file racing, but at the end there, kind of amped up towards the end, not necessarily up front, but at the end of the day, Bailey Jelinus was able to zip through the field and ends up in victory lane.
Yeah, it was a great race. My first road course race that I've called, and You know, it couldn't have been a better one to actually start it off. Yeah, everybody did a great job, and yeah, a lot of spiciness towards the end there too, with a lot of different teams, a lot of guys with different strategies. You know, with the tires and the pits, and oh my, I mean, yeah, it was a great race by everybody, and congratulations to you know, the top three. I mean, they put on a great show for everybody.
It was good. It was a lot of fun. I hope everybody enjoyed the race. We certainly enjoyed it there towards the end. Bailey Gelinas comes home with the win tonight. First win, first start. Can't do much better than that. So Wednesday night, Tony, we'll be watching you in the Truck Series, 9 p.m. here on Full Throttle TV. We'll be doing the COTA race for those guys. And yeah, so we'll see how you can do there, and we look forward to that. And of course, next Monday we'll be at Phoenix for the Full Throttle Sim Racing Victory Fuel Cup Series at Phoenix Raceway. So look forward to that as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. For Tony Solari, I'm Brody Hanna at Full Throttle Television. Saying good night, and we'll see you Wednesday night, 9 p.m. for the trucks here on Full Throttle TV.